Welcome to Skill Builder number 5. This is the last skill builder of Unit 1, and during this skill builder we are going to combine everything that we've learned in the previous 4 skill builders. First, you are going to use ArcPro to learn how to use the Select by Location tool. Then you will export the selected data to a new feature class and share that data to your ArcGIS Online account. For the second part of Skill Builder 5, you are going to be using ArcGIS Online, specifically the Web Map Viewer portion of ArcGIS Online, and you will be creating a map of the UA Little Rock campus using the layers that I have provided for you, or the feature classes that I provided for you, and you will need to symbolize them and label them following the instructions in the Skill Builder 5 instruction document. So let's get started with the select by location portion of the skill builder. So you have a SB5 underscore data folder that is on Blackboard under the skill builder content folder. And so download that and then unzip it, and then using your insert connections, you're going to connect that file geodatabase, and then using your catalog pane, you are going to navigate to that database and add this has more because I've been working on it. I can just delete this right now. You guys are going to have 3 layers provided: campus boundary, stream centerline, and stream outline. And you can see I have already added them to my map over here. I don't have them turned on though. When you add them to your map, it's probably going to zoom you out to the full extent of the stream centerline layer or the stream outline layer. And then if we are going to be doing this on a smaller scale than Pulaski County, we're just going to be looking at these stream outlines and centerlines that are on the UA Little Rock campus. So if you want to zoom in or zoom to the Little Rock campus, you can right-click on the campus boundary layer and go to zoom to layer, and you can see it brought us to the campus. Just so it maybe looks a little nicer for you guys as I'm working through this, I am going to make this a hollow fill polygon. Maybe I'll change the outline color to like red or something so we can see that. And then I'm going to change the base map. I just work with imagery data all day long at work, and so it seems to be what my brain prefers. So you can zoom in and look at these layers. You can see that we have our stream outline layer, which is in purple, and it sort of follows the extent of the stream with its polygon layer. Notice it's only for major streams, not for these smaller streams that serve more as like drainage ditches. And then we have our stream centerline layer as well. So we are going to select by location for both of these, and then one of these will be a required layer in your final map on ArcGIS Online. You can choose which one you want to use, or you can just go ahead and upload both of them and add both of them to your map. I'm going to zoom back out to the campus boundary layer. And you know, I actually don't like right now the way this base map is looking, so I'm going to change it. I don't feel like that's much better, but we'll leave it as it is. So let's get into using the Select by Location tool. This tool is found in the Map tab in the Selection group. You can click on it, and you can move this around, which is nice because when you select your data, it's going to highlight here in your map view. And you can also open your attribute table and it will show you the highlighted features as well. So there's a couple parts of the Select by Location tool. We have our input features, and you can see here it just chose the top layer in my table of contents that we can select. We cannot select by location on these base map layers. They're not selectable like that. But you can see the 3 that it allows me to have as my input. The input feature is the feature on which you want the data to be selected. So I want to use the campus boundary to select the stream centerline data. So my input feature will be stream centerline. I'm going to use the campus boundary to select, so it will be my selecting feature. And then there's lots of different relationships, and they all are slightly different. You can see there's quite a few that are similar: within, completely within, and then this within Clementini option. I recommend that you read about all of these. They're just short descriptions. If you click on this eye icon, this information icon, it will show you all of these different descriptions of the option types. So I would recommend to review that a little bit. Just read about the intersect and the within and maybe the contains. Those are the ones that are the most commonly used. And today we are going to use the intersect relationship. So I have my input feature as stream centerline, the relationship as intersect, and the selecting feature as the campus boundary. I'm going to click apply, and you can see now highlighted in light blue, we have the stream center lines that intersect with the campus boundary. I'm going to show you there's a difference between intersect and intersect, or crossed by the outline of. So this would be stream center lines that are crossed by the outline of the campus boundary, whereas the intersect includes anything within the boundary or that's crossing the line. The cross by the outline of selects a smaller portion of records. So I'm going to change that back to intersect. Now I'm going to open the attribute table to maybe show you guys how this data is organized a little bit. I'm going to apply that intersect selection again. And now navigate to my selected, and you can see we have 32 selected. And that seems to be a lot of lines selected just for the Euler campus. And the reason why is because they have these streams and sections. You can see this Coleman Creek stream center line is not just one complete line going through campus. It is in many different sections, and we can sort alphabetically and see here it is quite a few. All of those sections are making up Coleman Creek. That just seems to be a choice of the data designer. Whoever created this layer chose to break Coleman Creek up into sections like that. It might be based on bridges over the creek or something else. I'm not totally sure. Now that you have your features selected, we are going to export these selected features to a new feature class or layer. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and make sure that I have everything as I want. Just click apply again just in case. Now you can exit out of the select by location tool. To export just these selected features, we are going to right click on that layer in the table of contents and scroll down to where it says data. If you hover over data, it will pull up a couple options, and we are going to export features. And we know that we are exporting only selected features if we get this phrasing underneath the input features drop-down menu. If it says this input has a selection, it is only going to export the selected features. And the input feature is our one with the selection, and name, you should name your output feature class stream centerline UALR. And I'm going to save this in my database. Click save, and then click OK, and it is going to run that export and automatically add it to the map. One thing very quickly that I'd like to show you guys is how you can group layers, which just helps things be a little bit more organized. I've actually not done this in Pro, but I'm sure it's the same. So you see there, I selected these two layers. These were our initial layers that we added from the SB5 data geodatabase. And then I right-clicked on one that was selected and clicked group. Now I can rename this group. I'm just going to call it initial data. Try to close these. Let me drag that. Nope. Drag that campus boundary into that group. And using this sort of grouping, you can turn all layers that are in the group on and off at once. So you can either turn one of them off, so you see I just turned the campus boundary layer off, or by clicking the check mark by the group, you can turn every layer off in that group. So let's clear our selection of the stream center line by clicking this clear selection button. You can also do it by opening up the attribute table and then clicking clear selection, but it's much easier to do it up here in the selection group. And we can go ahead and turn that newly added layer off. We can also turn the whole stream centerline layer off because we don't need to use it anymore. Now we are going to select by location for the stream outline within the Euler campus boundary. So stream outline, and you can see now it has changed the naming of these layers to include the name of the group that it is included in. We want to keep that same intersect relationship, and it's the campus boundary that we are selecting by. And we're going to click apply, and you can see that this includes this entire section of Coleman Creek, including portions of it that are outside of the boundary. This is something that happens when you use the select by location tool. It is not always very exact because this line must start somewhere within the boundary and then continue this far outside of the boundary. We are going to select again the stream outline that intersects with campus boundary, and once again you are going to right click on it, go to data, export features. And another thing I wanted to share with you guys quickly is the way that when you're creating an output feature class, it can be very confusing the way that you name it. I would recommend never really typing into here. What I do is I click on the folder, and there's two things that when you click on the folder that you're allowed to do. You can both navigate to the folder that you want your output feature layer to be saved in. So like I can go to my desktop and save it specifically into a folder, or within my project, I can save it to the project database that I have connected. Well, this SB5_map is the database that the project created automatically, and this SB5_data is the geodatabase that I created for you guys to download data from. So now I've navigated and told it where I want the layer to be saved, but you also need to tell it what you want the layer to be called. You can see that I don't have anything in this name section yet, and so you cannot save. So I'm going to call this stream outline UALR. And click save, and then click OK. And we can unselect the other stream outline and see that it did in fact export our stream outline into a new feature class. Now I'm going to show you guys how to use the clip geoprocessing tool. This will be our first time using a geoprocessing tool, which we're going to get into much more throughout the rest of the semester. To access geoprocessing tools, you go to the Analysis tab, and in this geoprocessing group, you click on Tools. And this is a really nice catalog or geoprocessing pane that ArcPro provides us. We can search right in here for whatever tool we want to use. So type in clip into the search bar, and we are going to use this first clip option. So just click on it, and it is a pretty simple and easy tool to use. It just has a couple of sections to it. So we're not going to clip the layers that we just created. We're going to clip the initial data, stream centerline, and stream outline layers. And I want to do this to show you guys what the clip tool can do, and also to show you the differences between the clip tool versus the select by location tool. And obviously there's big differences, but as you just saw, we can use the select by location tool to export data, and this clip tool is basically going to do the same thing. It's going to export data into a new feature class. So our input feature is going to be stream centerline. Ooh, it says this input has a selection, so we want to make sure to open up that layers attribute table and clear out that selection, because if we did not clear out that selection, it will only run that geoprocessing tool on the features that are selected. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these layers off and turn those on. It looks like our stream outline still has a selection as well, so we're going to clear that and exit out. I'm going to pull that clip tool up again. So our input feature is going to be stream centerline, and our clip feature will be the campus boundary. And I'm going to click on the folder beside output features, and this is in my project database. I'm going to name this stream centerline clip. It's important to have simple naming conventions so that you can understand what you did to get to the layer that you have and the differences between all of the different layers that you may have in your map. So now that we have all three of these parts of this tool filled out, we're just going to click Run. The amount of time it takes varies depending on the size of the data set. So we can see we have our clipped feature over here in our table of contents now. I'm going to unselect these other layers, the initial data, and look at that beautiful clipped stream center line. Nothing is overhanging the campus boundaries. Everything is included. Whereas the stream centerline Euler layer has features that fall outside of the boundary. And this is because those were one entire line feature. And when you're selecting by features, it's not going to select just part of a line. It's going to select all of that section of the line. And maybe I can show you guys this in a way. So if I click on this part of the line down here, it selects this whole line because it is all one portion. Same for that one, as well as this one that's sticking out. And then if I turn on the clip layer, you can see that those portions have just been cut in half. So those lines that were one line feature extending out of the boundary have been split in half by the clip feature. So let's use the clip feature again to clip our stream outline layer. Go back to geoprocessing. Make sure you're using the clip tool. Woo, I'm having a hard time clicking right now. So stream outline. Our clip features are again going to be our campus boundary. And we're going to save this in our SB5 data folder and name it stream outline clip. And then we're going to click Run. And we see we have a successful clip, so we can exit out of that tool pane. And we can compare, so we can turn off the initial data, and we can now compare our stream outline clip to our stream outline select by location. And you can see that the one that we did, the layer that we created using select by location, has these dangling portions of the stream outline outside of the boundary, and we don't want that. So the clip worked better. It split that streamline right at the campus boundary. And that's what we wanted. So you're going to use these 4 new layers that you created to answer some of the questions in the Skill Builder 5 assignment. And then you are going to choose whichever of these that you want to upload to ArcGIS Online and use on your campus map. In Skill Builder 3, I showed you guys how to publish a feature class or layer to ArcGIS Online, and we did that using this Share tab and the Web Layer Publish Web Layer tool. And what that did, if you remember, is it published all of the layers that we had over here in our table of contents. This has got to be a new feature of ArcPro, of the newest version that we are all using, because I was doing this very same exact thing a few months ago in version like 2.8, and it would only publish a single layer at a time. But I figured out the way to publish only one layer from your map to online, and that is by having it selected in the table of contents, right-clicking on it and going down to sharing, and then we are going to share it as a web layer. And this is only going to share this single layer. And you can change the name, add a summary, add tags, and go through all of the same steps that we went through in Skill Builder number 3. The second part of Skill Builder number 5 is to create a map of the UA Little Rock campus using ArcGIS Online. I have added layers to our GIS1 group that you guys can use to create your campus map. In order to find these layers, go to Groups, click on GIS1, and it's going to take you to the main page for our GIS1 group. On this second row, so not this top white row, but on this second row that's blue, you're going to click Content. This will take you to all of the content that is held within our GIS1 group. In contrast, if you click on the Content button up here, that takes you to your personal content. So now that we're in the GIS1 group content folder, you can see I have created categories for all of the data and all the content that we have in this group. All of them are categorized right now, so if you click Uncategorize, nothing will pop up. So you guys did great on your Skill Builder 3 and added your maps here. But for Skill Builder 5, you're just going to go to the Skill Builder 5 category, and I have included 8 layers for you guys to add to your web map viewer. And you can start creating a web map in a couple different ways. You can choose one of these layers that you like and click on it. It will take you to the main information page for that layer, and then you can click Open in Map Viewer. I'm going to go back real quick because another way that you can open the web map viewer is just by clicking, just by clicking map up here in the top of your page. However, this is not going to include any layers, just a base map. But to add layers from our group, you go to the Add Layer button, and instead of My Content, you'll go to My Groups. And I'm going to have a lot more information here because I'm added to a lot more groups than you guys probably are. But you guys can then navigate to all of the different layers that I have uploaded, and all of them they'll be by me, and they will have a date of September 19th, most likely. To complete your Skill Builder number 5, I want you guys to add at least 4 layers to your map. One needs to be a layer with categorical symbology. Another one needs to be a layer that has labels. The third one needs to be another layer that's just symbolized in whatever manner you think is most appropriate. And then the fourth layer needs to be a layer of the Select by Location or the Clip Geoprocessing tool that you created using Arc Pro. So just upload either the stream centerline or the stream outline clipped to the campus boundary. If it is not clipped to the campus boundary or selected by location to the campus boundary, I guess I will be forced to take points off of your Skill Builder assignment. I'm not going to walk you through very much how to change the symbology for these layers. I know I haven't shown you guys how to do this in the web map viewer, but it's important for you to play around with this and try and figure it out on your own, but I'll give you a bit of a preview. So let's say we want to change the symbology of our routes. If you click on the layer, you can see it pulls up a pane over here on the right side. And these are all of the options of what we can do with this layer. So we can look at the properties of it. We can change the style, which is also known as the symbology. We can filter it. We're not going to do that right now. And then you can also add labels by clicking on this 3-point icon and selecting labels. Sometimes this label icon will actually be moved up here. It just really depends on how Web Map Viewer wants to act when you open it. So to change symbology again, you go to Styles and you can do a single style option. You can also change it to a categorical style option. It's looking though like it does not want to let me do that. I think to do a categorical symbology, you need to click on this field and choose what field you want to categorize it by. So maybe display name, I created that display name field, and it's going to load, and now it's going to give us the option to use unique symbols, which is also, it's the same thing as using categorical symbols. You can click on style options, and then it will show you the different display options for that field. So the different domain value options, I guess, for that field. So this display name field had values of null, unknown path, non-accessible path, and accessible path. And then you can click on the symbology beside each of these domain values and you can change its symbology.